Thanks for coming. I'm pleased you could join me, especially since it must have been such a long journey to this coffee shop in such a remote, rural little town. I know it's a bit empty, but this is actually busy for our local standards. But I know you didn't come here to just talk about how our coffee shop is doing. You wanted the info on the lead I mentioned to you, right? About the vampire. Now, just make sure again. You are serious, aren't you? When I first got wind of you, you were some self-proclaimed vampire hunter. It was hard to take at face value. Anyone would assume you're just some sort of role player, especially with how popular vampires are in the media and whatnot. So you'll have to overlook my skepticism. Fortunately for you, I know vampires do exist. I've seen them. That's why I was able to take you seriously. Well, somewhat seriously. The thing is, vampires are very powerful, and however powerful you think they are, they're even more powerful than that. From lifting cars all the way over their heads, to running quickly enough to catch up to motorcycles, to shrugging off bullets. There's a lot they can do, and I'm not so sure there's much you can do against them. So, what is it you actually intend to do? What's your plan? How are you going to stop them? Because I really don't see much of a way you can face them. You have to try anyway. You're not a very good vampire hunter, are you? Seriously. What are you going to do? Say for instance I was a vampire, what would you do against me? How would you stop me? Do you have some sort of magic bullets or some sort of holy water in your gun or something? Oh, you need to get it from your bag. That little thing. That crossbow that shoots a wooden stake. I can't believe it. You barely even sharpen that stake. It's so dull. Saying you're not a very good vampire hunter was a bit of an understatement. Oh well, at least it's you. There's really nothing you can do against me then. What do I mean by that? Oh, now you're catching on. Normally I just tease you, just to give you a subtle hint. But I think that might actually go over your head, so I'll say it plainly. Why do you think I invited you all the way out in the middle of nowhere? Sounds a lot like a trap, doesn't it? Like one a vampire would pull. I assumed you were just coming along anyway. Now I know it's a trap with some sort of ace up your sleeve. It seems you were actually just that clueless. Now, if you haven't caught on yet, yes, I am a vampire. What do you freeze up? What happened to all that? I have to try anyway. Talk earlier. You're adorable. Oh, do you think I'm not going to do anything to you because we're in public and I'm unarmed? Oh, you poor thing. You really underestimate me. Everyone get out. Stand by the doors and windows. Now it's just you and me. Surprised. They're my thralls. Everyone in this town is my thrall, you see. Well, other than you. For now. We'll see how you behave. I wouldn't run if I were you, by the way. I could sprint to the end of the room before you even left your seat. In fact, I wouldn't even need to sit up to take you out. I could throw a coin with enough force to pierce your skull. And with enough precision to hit a bird in flight. So, why don't we just have a little talk? It's been so long since I've had some good company to talk to. The thralls aren't very interesting. I mean, the sleepy little hamlet is. Other than you. It just so happens that I've known about you for far than just before I contacted you. A vampire has to look out for their own safety after all. I might be immortal, but you don't live for as long as I do without keeping tabs on all potential threats. And I suppose maybe you kind of count as a threat. Well, okay, not really. You've just proven yourself to be toothless. It's actually quite charming. It's so nostalgic. There aren't any vampire hunters these days. No one believes in us anymore, much to their detriment. I think you might be the only one. You're intriguing. I haven't met any real entertainment in decades. Fighting vampire hunters was the only real spice in life. But they're all gone now. Except for you. You remind me of the time my life had actually had some thrill in it. And true, you're not particularly skilled as a vampire hunter. Once again, that's an understatement, but that's actually quite fitting. It adds to the nostalgia. The other hunters weren't exactly competent either. They kept on getting scammed by convents selling fake holy water. It's because of you, that nostalgia. But the highlights of my lonely nights was all about stalking you, watching you go about your day, storing the internet inefficiently for leads on vampires, going to the wrong websites, asking questions of the wrong people. Absolutely adorable. Not that I was stalking you in a romantic way. I can assure you. Just in a tactical sort of way, to keep an eye on you, to see what you might be able to threaten me. What ways? I promise, really. That aside, I have taken an interest in you, past in the honor. So, without further ado, you are mine now. Here, take my hand. We'll be going to my estate, and I'm sure even if it was next door, you'd get lost without me holding your hand. You're honestly pointing that little toy at me. You know it's not going to do anything right. I could shrug off getting hit by a truck. Your dull little stick isn't going to be very good at penetrating me. But, I tell you what, if you'd like, I can expose my chest. I'll give you a clear shot straight to my heart, so you can see how futile it really is. But seriously, your resistance is pointless. You're in front of a vampire in a town consisting exclusively of the thralls. You're done. Give up. Well, I do admire it a bit. You're willing to throw away your life away facing me. But what about the lives of your loved ones, your friends, and family? That's right. I've been watching you this entire time. I know everything about you. I know who you spend your time with, who you talk to, who you laugh with. I know I really hate it when you talk and laugh with others. So it really wouldn't be much of an issue for me if I remove them from the picture. And if you refuse me, if you rejected my kind, generous offer to take you in, well, well, to be honest, it's a demand. If you rejected me, I wonder just how far my retaliation would reach. Oh, that's what I like to see, the sight of you putting your hands up in surrender. It makes me want to bite down on your neck right now. I think I'll have to restrain myself, though. Right now, I'm eager enough to crush it. I wouldn't want you dying on me. You're gonna give me so much entertainment after all. You're the only thing interesting in my life. It would be a shame if yours were cut short. Which reminds me, your pitifully short human lifespan might be a bit of an issue. I suppose I'll have to turn you. Maybe, if you behave enough, I'll consider it. In fact, if you behave enough, I might even let you see your loved ones. I could keep them here as my thralls. But enough about that. We should head home. I know it's just about time for you to watch your favorite show end. I'll give you the privilege of watching it with me.